Okay, so welcome to this Zoom. You will need your blueprint. So if you don't have your blueprint yet, you can go to Google and type in LifeVantage Blueprint, and it's all there as well. So that'll be very helpful. I'm really excited that you've chosen to join us, and this is an amazing step you've taken being part of LifeVantage. I hope you will learn to love it as much as I do. The more I learn about this, the more excited I get. Doesn't matter what your background is, as long as you have passion, as long as you have a strong desire to improve or change something in your life. If you're coachable and teachable, I love this. When LifeVantage talks about being coachable, they're saying it's because they know that the process is trustworthy. It's proven. And I learned to trust the process, which is challenging for entrepreneurs. We like to lead and reinvent. We're constantly looking at how to improve things. So it's been a learning process for me to trust the process enough to be completely coachable, but I'm probably 98% there. They say that someone who is not coachable or teachable will not do well in this. Another thing you need is to have a strong work ethic and follow through. Be consistent over a long period of time. And then, of course, you must be willing to share. And that's what we're talking about today, how to share, the invite. And this is a sorting business, and you're looking for the blue M&Ms only. So, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we'll be going over the invite portion of the blueprint. LifeVantage has 4 pillars, and those 4 pillars are the blueprint, the event cycle, core habits, personal growth. Now, all of these are so necessary, and today we'll be going into the blueprint and just into the invite. So let's take, oh, hold on a second. I'm gonna mute somebody here, just because I don't focus very well. So hold on here. Hello, I'm gonna mute everybody. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay. So in the blueprint is what we at LifeVantage call the proven plan. So today we're gonna go over number 3, the invite. If everyone could mute themselves out, that would be fantastic. It's really distracting for everyone when we can hear little things going on. So I would love that. Okay, I'm gonna mute some of you guys. Okay, proven plan. We're gonna go over number 3. And so if you've not done number 1, getting started, the getting started checklist, and number 2, the database with your enroller, or they have not brought you to someone in your upline to do it together, because you know what, they might be new or unsure of themselves. No worries, just take notes today and then get in touch with them and ask them to do number 1 and number 2 with you, or to bring you to someone with whom you can both learn, right? Because each of these steps are extremely important building blocks to your business. They're simple but necessary. And the companies put them together for us to make our business super simple, super easy, so we can focus on building and serve as many people as possible. It's a massive asset, so use it, all right? Let's quickly look at the first 2, and then you'll want to go in depth. All right, look at them thoroughly. So number 1, step 1 is the get started checklist. And It says to enroll, and all of you guys have enrolled, which is fantastic. And write down your goals. Write it down. Written goals have a way of transforming wishes into wants, can'ts into cans, dreams into plans, and plans into reality. Don't just think it, ink it. I love that. It's so important. And the next thing is to create a database. This is a big deal. A big list is power. I've got to get through my list because the business doesn't even really begin until you have 3, 4, or 5 people working on their list. Dave Marquis, who is the top of our line here at LifeVantage, when he enrolled, his enroller gave him 72 hours to write down his list and then to meet him back at the coffee shop. And he said, I'll know how serious you are by how big your list is. So Dave took 72 hours and he took it seriously because he wanted his enroller to see that he was someone worth putting time into, right? And he came back with, I believe it was 700 names. So when Dave did our launch call, he told us this story, and Sean and I looked at each other and we kind of challenged. We're like, we got to beat him. So we did. We came up with 800 names. So I challenge you to beat us. And then once you've done your list and beaten us, then put a check by the 40 or 50 most positive, biggest thinkers on your list. And then you can work at inviting them. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'll teach you how to invite. And then you want to keep a record of each person you've invited. We use something called Wrike, W-R-I-K-E, to keep track of conversations we've had, where we are at with people, the list we have. There's a free version and a not so free version. And then, of course, you want to be a product of the product. We use, I think, every product LifeVantage offers every day in our family. And I don't just use them because I should. I use them because I love them and they have changed our world. So, but not, now while we're supposed to be the product of the product, the big picture is this. And Dave Marquis said this to me, and it made a huge impact on me. My product is freedom and choice. I absolutely lead with the product, but I know what my product is. So the longer I'm in this, the more true this is. This is why mastering the invite is so important. I believe 100% in this product. And if I don't master the invite, I will never be able to help somebody's grandma who I don't even know. So it all starts with the invite. In your blueprint, this is the front page or the first page, the index, and you'll see where it is on page 16. So why do we teach you how to invite, or teach you to invite? It's really important. It's very tempting after we've heard about this for the first time to want to call everybody and throw up on them. But that's been proven to be highly ineffective. And remember, we're serving people. And that grandma, she's always in the back of my mind, who would never get to hear about this if I don't master my invite. So it kind of all starts with, after you've decided and made your list, to be uncomfortable. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's how you break the plateau and reach the next level. I wasn't comfortable doing the things my mentor told me to do. This whole network marketing thing was completely new to me. A whole new world, a new language, everything. And at the beginning, I wasn't really comfortable with doing this sort of thing. So if you're new to this, until you find your groove on a level of comfort, you tend not to do it as much as you know that you should. Unless you know that you will be uncomfortable before you're comfortable. Then you push through and through that, and you find your groove, which is so important. Now let's look at page 16 on the blueprint. This is where they talk about the invite. Inviting people to learn more about your business is a critical skill. Do it well and you'll have more people looking at the business and products. And that means more distributors and customer enrollments and a stronger business. So there are two very important points to remember. You are the messenger, not the message. Use your tools. Instead of telling the story, send your contacts to a third party or to a sales tool so they can learn the story there. That really, really is important. And then believe and think positively, and don't forget to smile. People can feel your energy 1,000 miles away. You can tell on this Zoom when I'm smiling and when I'm not, even though you can't see my face. So it's important. And then on page 17, there's some scripts. And then also I think on invite scripts that work for a live meeting on page 16 as well. I would go over those and put them into your own words. Again, comfortability, that is so important. If you're comfortable with your words, then the person on the other end of the phone or the Zoom or the whatever will be comfortable, right? Yeah, I think this next slide is important to remember. Our job title, professional inviter. The person who wins in this profession is the one who gets the information in front of the most people. End of story. Tara Wilson, one of the most, she's a high income earner in LifeVantage. She's a Pro 9. And she says one of the most important skills you could possibly learn in your career is the art of inviting. It doesn't matter how successful you've been in other careers, how much you know about your products, your services, your comp plan, how polished you are at presenting, how great you are at the organization. Nothing in network marketing happens until an invitation is made. A lot of people don't look at this as a skill. It's probably the most important skill you'll ever learn, and here's why. Until you invite someone to take a look at your product or service or business, nothing happens. All right, so first thing, get on the phone. Might seem obvious. And then the next thing, when you're calling someone, respect the relationship, and here's what I mean. Here, and I'm going to go into, I spent some time with Dave. I called him and I said, Dave, I want to be you. I want to be right where you are, and I want to go farther than you. Teach me your ways. And so he's been so gracious to do that. So he's kind of given me a script that he has used to get to Pro 9, and I think his volume is Pro 10, but needs to balance out a bit. I'm not completely sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But so here's the script over the next several slides that he uses and has been very successful with. I've changed how I've done invites to do this, and it really makes a difference. So he says, hey, Sean, it's Tama. There's a really specific reason I'm calling. Do you have a minute? And if they say they have time, then we'll go to the next part. If not, then set a time, call them back. When would be a better time for you? And then if you haven't seen them in a while, this is where the whole respect the relationship part comes in. Say, I know we haven't seen each other in 15 years. Let's catch up very briefly, and then I'll tell you the reason I'm calling. And I gotta say, I have been caught in like 3-hour conversations where I had no idea how to turn it back to why I called, and doing this has saved me hours. I do want to know about them. I do care about them, but at this moment, I am calling for a very specific reason. So if they say, yeah, I've got time right now, then you say, when it comes to adding additional income to your household, or when it comes to adding additional income to your family, do you keep your options open? If they say yes, then we'll go to the next part. If they say no, I'm not open, you say, no problem, thank you for being so upfront with me. I really appreciate that. Let me ask you, and you follow through if they're no. Let me ask you, is this a timing thing, or do you truly have no interest in this? Because if it's simply timing, I would like your permission to see if the timing is better for you in a few months. If they say it's simply timing, then you set a date for a few months out. What would be a good time for me to check back with you? Now, if they say, no, I'm just simply not open, you say, hey, if you could slow down your aging, would you be interested? And this is going from looking for a business partner into looking for a customer, which is a big differentiation. And here's a few things to remember. We are looking for a good decision. For some, a good decision is not to be involved in LifeVantage or to be a customer only. That's a great option. We need customers. No chasing people. I have 2 of my close friends. A good option for them is not to be involved in LifeVantage, but they are both customers. And never convince people. I like this saying, those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. Now, in that question that you say, when it comes to adding additional income to your household, to keep your options open. And if they answer you and their question is this network marketing? How Dave answers and how I've started answering, and people really are receptive to this answer. There's a piece of this that is something like that, but watch this and tell me what you think. And then after you've said, they're like, yep, I keep my options open, then you say this, I'm on to something. I have no idea if this is for you. It may be, it may not be. Either way, it's okay. You might love it or you might hate it, but I thought of you. Are you open to learning about something new, an opportunity? Now, you're giving them a graceful out here. And that is so important. Remember, we want them to feel comfortable and safe in this conversation. We want to treat them how we'd like to be treated. So once you say that, giving them a graceful out, I thought of you. Because you know what? The reason we're calling them is because I thought of them, right? Because we thought of them. And are you open? Are you open? You're checking with them. And then you wait for them to answer. Shh, stop talking. So if they say, well, it depends on what it is, this is how you answer. Here's the interesting part, and I love this answer. It is awesome. We can know in about 10 minutes if you're interested or not. There is a ABC Primetime Investigative Report. You can take a look at that, and if you like what you see, we can get you more information and introduce you to some people and answer some questions. How fast can you get in front of your computer to see this? Right? So here's the thing. If you like what you see, we'd like to get you some more information and introduce you to some of the rest on the project or to some of the other people involved and get you the rest of the story. By saying and introduce you to some of the rest on the project, you're making the way for an easy segue to a 3-way call, which I never knew how to do. And this has made a world of difference for me. I went, all right, Dave, I'm going to trust you. And I started doing this. It's changed how I do my invitation, and it's really, really helped me. People love it, like they respond really well, and this is really important. All right. So if they say, remember we've asked them, I'm on to something, are you open to learning something new? And if they say, yeah, right now, then we'll go to the next one. If they say, I can't watch it right now, but I could watch it at, whatever time, Thursday at 7, you set that time with them and you keep your commitment to that time. You're only as good as your word, right? If they say, can you just send me the link and I'll watch it when I have time or something like that, this is an important answer because I've not done this 100% of the time. And each time it's backfired on me. 100% of the time it's backfired on me when I've not done this. No, this is much too important. Call me when you're ready. Or, no, this is too important. I want you to see it like I did. That's the one I use. That's the one I like. So why is it much too important? Well, I want to talk to them after they watch it. I want to answer their questions. And then you say this. My phone is ringing off the hook. It will only take you 15 minutes, but I will call you back in half an hour. And if you like what you see, I can introduce you to my business partner. Or if you like what you see, I'd like to introduce you to some friends of mine who are on the project with me. Then let them go. Now, a couple of things. Always pre-arrange your 3-way call with whoever you're doing the 3-way call with. Do not assume they are available or they will be available. Now back to the golden rule, treat them how you'd like to be treated. So after that half-hour time has elapsed, when you call them back, say only this. What did you like best about what you saw? If they indicate they're not interested, your response is, no problem. Thank you for being so upfront with me. I really appreciate that. Let me ask you, is this a timing thing, or do you remember the same thing? Or do you simply have no interest? And it's the same thing, right? Same thing as above. If they are interested and tell you what interested them the most likely they will have questions. And this is when you do a 3-way call. You say, hey, that's fantastic. Let me introduce you to some of our partners. You're asking some very good questions. I'm going to ask you to ask those questions to them. I want to see how they answer. It will help me to learn too. I always learn when I say that. I'm not just saying things like it's legit. So, and this is a very natural business thing to do. And then Dave is very adamant about this on his end, and I've kind of started following along on this because I found that it's really important for my mental side of things, for my mindset. As I say, let's set a time. I don't go, oh, okay, let me get the person on the call right now. Sometimes that's appropriate, but let's set a time. Let me reach out to some of my business partners. Are afternoons or evenings better for you? Because you know what? You're looking for business partners. These are people who you will work closely with. It's not a rushed thing ever. Okay, so introduce them to business partners one at a time. And when you're introducing them, as it's going along the process, you're looking at what's their desire level. Are they teachable? Are they coachable? What kind of work ethic do they have, right? If it keeps being positive, then they meet more people, right? Maybe in the 3-way something sparks and you go another step further. So all of these things take fear away and make people more comfortable. And what would you do if you had no fear? This is worth exploring. I have this next saying above my desk and I read it often and I find it very important. If we doubted our fears instead of doubting our dreams, think how much we could accomplish. And then here's some gems for success from Dave Marquis that I've taken to heart and implemented. What I do with every conversation: explore a possibility of partnering up in a business. This is an exploration, right? This is not a pressure thing. And then I have this on a sticky note on my screen. 95% of success in business is mindset. 5% is mechanics. We're talking about mechanics today. They are important, but your mindset is way more important. And this is something that's Dave's opinion. I know there are other people who have different opinions on referrals, but this is what he does. Another person I'm going to refer to you a little later on has a different thought on this. But this is what he does. I like this personally, so this is what I'm doing. I'm looking for a couple of business partners, successful people who want to triple their income. I am not all excited. I am not having a sales conversation. You are showing passion about something you're interested and excited about, but it's not that like sales breath, right? I am having a conversation with an adult about a business proposition, about something we can do together. That's more mature, right? We are setting up a leadership team that is going to override a distribution network, and we have a limited amount of time. So if this isn't right for them, you're saving yourself and you're saving them, and that's really important. So these 4 words are the kind of business partner I'd like to have, and so I'm going to be that person, right? Natural, honest, open, relaxed. So again, this is not sales. We are helping people help themselves. The only way to add money to our households is to add value to someone else. We're educating. We're exploring an opportunity to improve their lives. The best thing we can do is to be comfortable ourselves. We want to help them relax, and we can do that by not being emotionally tied to the outcome. Just be committed to the process. I'm going to say that again because it took me a while to get to this point. We want to help them relax, and we can do that by not being emotionally tied to the outcome. Just be committed to the process. This statement is probably what set me on the path to doing the process, the proven plan. So I mentioned 3-way calls. So I had never done a 3-way call before I had done this that I can remember. So I just wanted to walk through how exactly to do them. Place a call like you normally would. And be sure and tell the person to hold on a second, because you will be gone until you come back with the other person as far as they can tell. And then you'll see in the bottom left of your options, add call. Hit that. And your contact list will come up, and you can choose one of them, or you can dial a number. You'll have those options. Once you've gotten your second person on the line, tell them that you're now going to merge the call. And you can see in the third picture over, instead of saying add call, it says merge call. Just hit that. And then you'll all be merged on a conference call. So now I want to give you some other tools that you can use to go deeper into the invite and become a master. In our back office, we have a training center. And if you click on we have some apps that will be the tech side of it. If you click on the new distributor training, you will get a menu like this. And LifeVantage has done a phenomenal job of doing 1, 2, 3, 4-minute videos on each of these things that are huge assets to use. The other thing I would recommend to you is Carrie Dickey, who is an Executive Master Pro 3 in LifeVantage. There are only 3 of them. So she has this training. If you go up there on training to resources, so let me just show you, and I show you this for a reason. This is our income claim statement from just the end of June. And Carrie Dickey is Executive Master Pro 10. So I think she's learned a few things. That just shows you how much she has mastered the invite. So when you click on those things, you'll get there's a sample invite. There's a lot of other things on her website you can explore, but as far as invitation, this is what she has, which is great. The other recommendation I would give to you, this is Tara Wilson. She is a Pro 9. I read her quote, and actually that's from this video. She starts by saying that. And she has 2 YouTube videos. One is called The Art of Inviting, and she does lunch and learn. She has a lot of great stuff. And then her newest one that came out 6 months ago is Rejection Proof Inviting. And she is one who fully believes in referrals. She has built her business on referrals. So you need to decide what works for you. And then the other one I would recommend to you is Tanya Eliza. MLM training, Master the Invite with this script. It's very simple, concise. It's more along Dave Marquis' lines and our Pro 10s. This is part of being coachable. So you just need to believe that the system works. And remember, you'll be uncomfortable before you're comfortable. And remember, again, it's 95% of success in business is mindset. 5% is mechanics. But here's the bottom line in all of this. You just got to open your mouth. So thank you so much. I'm going to come out of this screen.